Hey, good afternoon and welcome to the Soul Shop. I am your host, Phyllis King. And we all love astrology. We all like to know what's happening in the world and in the universe. And today we have the most fantastic expert and lovely human being from astrologyzone.com. We have the fabulous and incredible Susan Miller. We have to say some of your bio, Susan, because it's so remarkable. You're a best-selling author. You're such a remarkable businesswoman, and you're global. You're everywhere. You're in all the major cities.
Well, a lot of people say that, but I really am. I write for Vogue Japan, W Korea, Tempo in Turkey, Vogue Brazil, Vogue China, Claudia, all over the world.
Well, and you're just a lovely human being. You're a beautiful writer, and it's so obvious that you care about people and you educate, you inform, you entertain, and you seem to have boundless energy. And I know from previous discussions, you've had so many health challenges over the course of your life, but yet you come forward with this bright light and this incredible vision and work you provide for us. I mean, how do you do it?
Well, my mother was that way. I was born with a birth defect. And when you have something wrong with you at birth, you have to go back to the doll hospital every once in a while for a new part and a tune-up. I have internal bleeding, and it was severe. And in my life, I've had 40 blood transfusions, but not anymore. And they really fixed me. But the leg is a little weak, so I can't wear heels. And I love heels. I'm a girly girl. Can't wear heels. But you know what? I have a leg. Hello.
There you go.
Really better than anything. And luckily, nobody's wearing heels right now.
Yes.
So I don't feel like a little black sheep.
Well, and the other thing I just love about your approach is you love to give historical context. I mean, you teach us things. And I know you've talked about on your website about the historical relationship with COVID and other pandemics.
Yeah. Well, astrologers look at cycles, and there are cycles within cycles within cycles. There isn't just one. And when you have a conjunction, that's like two hands on a clock at 12. And then as the hands move, you tweak the project, you're challenged by the project, you're given help with the project. There are different moments in the lifespan of that particular cycle, but they're all different amounts of time, but we know what they are. And with the pandemic, I looked back to the Spanish flu, which was never really started in Spain. It started actually according to Google, Kansas City. So they had to get rid of that name because it wasn't fair. And so I typed in, when did it end? When did Spanish flu end? And up comes never. It's like, and I kept reading, and it said, we all get a shot in September for the flu. Well, that's the seasonal flu. It's the Spanish flu.
Fascinating.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
We're going to have it, we're going to have shots for coronavirus. I mean, I think this is never going to go away. This thing seems to have intelligence. It's like a snake. It's like playing a chess game with us, so I think we have to learn how to keep ourselves safe, listen to the experts, and then we have to keep on living because it's been 2 years now. Almost next month is when New York shut down. I live in New York. Where are you?
Yeah. I'm up in the Pacific Northwest right now.
A beautiful part of the country.
Yes. Well, and you and I were going to meet in January, but I too got COVID, and I know you said Courtney, your assistant.
Well, I have my daughter is due to have a baby in 2.5 weeks. And this Sunday coming up, I'm going to LA, and I'm really going to live there. She did it on her own. She did IVF. Wow. And she said, gee, I'm all alone. I said, no, you're not. You have a loving family, and I am not going to let you down, because my mother never let me down in life. When I was going through all my health things, I had to learn how to walk again. I never went to high school. I had to go to homeschool. But the Board of Education works with kids like that. I took my tests at home. And I thought, this is overwhelming. But my mother would say, no, I'm with you. You can get there. because at one point, right after the operation, things weren't going too well because they weren't sure I could keep the leg, and everything was going wrong. And I said, Mama, I feel like I'm in a raft in high seas and it's dark and I don't know which way is land and the waves are so big and I'm on this little raft. I don't even know if I'll survive. And she said, you will. And you will get there. And I'm going to be standing on the shore when you get there.
Oh,
she was
that.
always so happy.
Yeah.
You know, I was 14 when I was in the hospital 11 months and then in physical therapy for 2.5 years. And it was grueling. It was every day they do a different part of the leg. I had a big brace up to my hip and crutches. And I studied astrology just to know if I'd look like you. I wanted to be just like you. I didn't want to be different. No kid wants to be different. Nobody wants to have people stare at them, which in those days they did. I don't think today people stare at people with disabilities as much. I think we're enlightened, but it was hard, you know. And she said, Susie, when we break you out of jail, which was the hospital, you're going to have so many pretty dresses and so many shoes. Imagine telling a teenage girl she'll have a lot of shoes. And you're going to line them up against the wall and you'll say, which shoes will I wear today? That was my mother. She never came asking, how is the pain? And you know, if you go to see a sick person, always wear bright colors because they have very little stimulation. So it should be happy. She wore a lot of beautiful pastels. She had blue eyes. You should come every day. And, you know, my father would turn white when he came over and he would just stand there in the hospital. So my mother, he had gone through his own little nightmare with bleeding ulcers. So he would pass the hospital every morning at 5 a.m. to go to Hunts Point. He had an Italian specialty grocery store and he would get the most beautiful produce. He had very famous customers, but he would have to pass the hospital. So no matter what it was, rain, snow, sleet, whatever it was, he stopped his little truck because my bed was next to the window. He would take off his cap and wave to me, and I would wave back with this big red scarf. And we did that for 11 months.
Oh my goodness.
So I felt we were communicating just as if we were talking. It was the best for him because it was breaking his heart seeing me so sick. I said, don't worry, Daddy, I'm in good hands, you know.
I love it.
But, you know, there's different ways of communicating with different people. So you just have to find the right way.
So, and your daughter's having a baby soon. I'm sure you have her chart mapped out already, and then the new.
Well, she's Aries. They're fearless, you know.
For some reason, I thought you had a Pisces daughter.
I do.
Oh, you have a Pisces daughter as well. Okay.
Oh, and that's great too. Well, Diana is such a sweetheart. The one in LA. She works for James Corden, and she is the music producer. And she was asked to work on Apple Music as well as CBS because Apple has a franchise for carpool karaoke, but they do something completely different. She's won 6 Emmys, 4 for Apple Music and 2 for CBS for James Corden.
Is that the Pisces or the Aries?
The little Aries.
Okay.
Aries has been under really great career aspects recently, although they had to work for every bit of it. It was hard because it was Taskmaster Saturn saying, look at me. I don't want to see you doing anything else. You just look at me. I'm here to tutor you. I can only come by for 2.5 years every 28 years. So we've got some time. Look at me.
Right.
She did. You know, he's the ballet master with the stick. Jump higher. Keep your knees straight.
Yeah.
Look at your fingers. Make them graceful. And, you know, lift your chin, you know, balanchine, banging that stick on the floor like he used to do. He's Saturn, but he brings out the best in you.
I see. So your daughter is an Aries. She's having a baby this year. She's obviously amazingly accomplished,
and she'll keep her job.
Oh, incredible. And so
and
a baby coming in, but her child, your grandbaby coming in under these COVID circumstances, does that mean anything astrologically? Or
she has to be careful. She's had all her shots, but she had a very mysterious, excruciation pain over on her chest. She didn't know what it was. And they told her, Diana, you have shingles. She said, but I'm not nervous. I said, you're not nervous. That baby's coming in 2 weeks. Your landlord has just said she'd like you to move. The show isn't sure if they're going to be in New York or LA. You're not nervous.
Oh my goodness.
It's funny, like on my wedding, my eye was twitching. And I said, I'm not nervous. No, I'm calm as can be in my eye. Your body tells you, yeah, well,
Yes.
you are nervous.
Absolutely, certainly.
No, but her sister was just there helping her. And together they put together the crib and the little stroller. I said, wait a minute, you didn't call TaskRabbit to put together oh my God, you put it together. They said, we like doing that. That's like a puzzle. I said, I don't like doing that at all. My grandfather was an engineer on my mother's side, so I think they got that. It skipped a generation with me. I cannot put together furniture. Actually, my office, when I got this beautiful white desk, the instructions from IKEA were in Swedish. I said, that's it. This is going back. And Chrissy was 12 and Diana was 9. And they said, Mommy, step away from the desk of all those pieces. Leave the room. Diana, bring the toolbox. Close the door. Don't let Mommy in.
Oh my goodness.
Together perfectly.
Yeah.
So some people have it and some people don't.
Yeah. I just want to remind people who have logged in, who are listening, that my very, very special guest is Susan Miller from astrologyzone.com. Really the best of the best when it comes to astrologers and delivery, education, entertainment. It's just the best of the best. If you have a question for Susan, we're not doing personal readings, but if you have something you'd like to know that we all can benefit from hearing from, I see we have some hands up.
Oh, good.
We'll take that call. But I would like to know, I know we're starting out the new year and this should be a better year. Can we?
Much better year.
Okay.
Now you might say, well, actually January was not so hot.
No.
Well, that's because Venus was retrograde. And Venus rules all the luxury in life, the perfume, the lingerie, the champagne, the sweet petits fours. And when she's sleeping, life becomes more serious.
I see.
And little copycat Mercury, her little brother, he said, I'm going to go retrograde too. I was like, oh, brother. So he went retrograde on January 14th. He's still retrograde until the 4th of February, but you always have to give it a little space.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a few days. I have friends that jump on the day.
Right.
He's a little trickster. He's Dennis the Menace, Ralph the Ripper on the beginning and the end dates. In the middle, he's actually a little bit more, congenial, but don't jump on the beginning and end. So just give it a little room. Yeah. You'll see life is going to move much faster now. And I like February. Oh, we have such a rare thing happening on Valentine's Day.
Oh,
this year, Venus and Mars are going to be together.
Ooh.
Now, Venus loves to be at Mars' side, and he feels the same way about Venus. When they're together, their job becomes a chemical equation to spark the spark of love, of new love.
Oh.
And if you're in a relationship, you're married, maybe it's just been almost like running a small business. It gets that way when you have children and, mortgage and everything. You can put the light back in the marriage. And if you're still carrying a torch for someone who got away, it's not a bad idea to send a card or say, hey, how are you doing? What's happening? I was thinking of you yesterday. Something like that. Because Venus and Mars, and get this, usually we have to wait 2 years for this to happen because Mars takes 2 years to go around the sun and Venus takes 18 months. It's just kind of hard to get them together. Mm-hmm. But once in a while, it'll only take a year, but almost always it takes 2 years. This year, they're going to meet twice. They're going to meet on February 16th, and you'll already feel it on Valentine's Day because they'll only be a half a degree apart.
Okay.
And then they're going to meet again next month on March 6th
in
Aquarius. This month, they're meeting in Capricorn. And this means everybody gets pieces of chocolate. And you say, well, what do you mean? Well, in Capricorn, all the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, do well, but so do the water signs, because water and earth make flowers. That is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So
Yes.
this month's conjunction is good for them. Next month for Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, but also Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Everybody wins this year.
Oh.
And, we haven't, when I write a calendar and we don't have any more left, and my printer said, Susan, your paper is so beautiful, but I cannot get it. We are sold out. And we just had this discussion this morning. I said, there must be another printer who can get it. We even went to the CEO of the company. We felt that maybe the account person wasn't motivated enough to help us get this rare and beautiful paper. But the CEO said, I love your calendar, and I'm going to try. I'm going to make phone calls again today. But it's a supply chain problem. And it's not coming from China. It's coming from somewhere in the United States. And yet I'm still having this problem. This is insane.
Oh, my goodness.
And we're getting ready to print the next one.
Wow.
Not yet. This summer we will print it, but, I'll be writing it now. And my artist I've hired,
Well, it's really a beautiful calendar. I love and I was really tickled to see that today when we're speaking that it was dead spot on. And I mean, I know you have all the aspects to look at, but one of the things that's remarkable to me about you, among so many things, is how you can tell us about our sun sign and it be so spot on. And nobody can really do
why?
That.
The sun is at the center of the universe. It's at the heart. That's why it's important. Now, you might know your actual custom chart. You should read for both. If your astrologer says you have Gemini rising, but you're a Virgo, you should read for both. Not your moon sign, because that's your emotional state.
Oh, okay.
But there's one exception. An interesting thing I have found through research. If you're born at night, now, what is the definition of night? Right after the sun has gone down. It doesn't have to be the blackness of midnight. It could be, well, like right now, the sun is going down at 5:15 in New York. Ugh, it's dark all the time. But anyway, any baby born after that, they're born at night. Until dawn, it's night. The moon takes on special significance. I started seeing, my daughter Chrissy is a Pisces. She has 3 planets in Aquarius, including the moon. And she married a man named Leo, who is a Leo. Isn't that funny? And he's an actor. He was in The Wire, he was in Kids, he was in some famous films. But he has an art gallery now, and the two of them just have devoted their whole life to art. It's so nice. And I thought, I hope Chrissy's water doesn't put out Leo's fire. Well, then I read about this possibility. The Indian people in Vedic astrology put very strong emphasis on the moon. And I'm seeing how they've been married about 7 years, but they lived together before that. They're so happy. Her moon in Aquarius fits perfectly with Leo and with her other 3 planets, Venus and Mercury. So I'm seeing, and she is born at night, 7:39 p.m. on February 26th. So the sun goes down early this month. So you take a look at that, and anybody who says to you, I don't feel like a Cancer. I'm like, what time of day are you born? I'm born at night. Well, where's your moon? Well, it's in Leo. Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
You have that influence.
Well,
and so that's nice, but you'll always be a Cancer anyway,
right?
And nurturing and loving. But there's that the confidence of Leo, and the handling of color and design is amazing.
Well, that makes so much sense to me. But I'm just thinking about your monthly horoscopes on astrologyzone.com. It's remarkable to me how spot on you are, because I'm certainly a Pisces Cancer moon, but I have planets other places. Yes.
You're a Pisces. What day Pisces?
The 19th.
Oh, right near the end.
Yes.
Or in the beginning.
I always can tell. It's always exactly what's going to happen with my month. It's remarkable, because my planets are all over the place. So I'm sorry.
Are you February?
No, I'm March 19. Yeah.
So you have a little of that spunk of Aries, which is so entrepreneurial.
Yeah, Mercury and
You know,
Venus are
Diana's
very,
born 4 hours before Taurus.
yeah.
And if you went through her house, every sink has a rose, a beautiful rose opening up next to the faucet, in the bathroom, in the kitchen. There's flowers everywhere. The touches of Taurus are there. When she was little, she was just 2.5. Mom, I have a perfume emergency. I'm like, oh, oh,
Perfume.
need perfume. And I said, and you like Allure by Chanel. Allure doesn't even smell good on me. It smells divine on her. To this day, she wears Allure.
Oh my gosh.
and they're so funny. And you know, they also have radar. I'd go to Bloomingdale's and grandma would babysit. I said, Mommy bought things. What is it? You bought makeup. We want to see if it's any good. It was like customs. I said, well, let's see the blush. Ooh. And then they put it on. You couldn't be mad at them. They were so funny that I let them do whatever they wanted to. But children can be helpful too. Once I was, you know, when I was about 35, I started to get gray hair. So I used that home stuff. Diana came into the bathroom and she was just a little Pusian. Mommy, why is the color of your hair different in the back than in the front? I said, it is. Get Chrissy. Chrissy, is this true? Yes, Mommy, Diana's right. I'm like, oh my God, get Brian. Brian's my gay friend. He lives right around the corner. I said, tell Brian to come right away. Oh my God, I have to get the phone. He says, okay, Susan, step away from the sink. You are not doing this anymore. Your children are right. I said, but I can't see the back. He said, I know. That's why you're not going to do this by yourself anymore. but children can help you.
Yes,
I'm thinking, how long have I walked around like this? How many months? And I didn't know.
Well, maybe you'd be so kind, Susan, to just talk to us about.
I'll tell you why it's a better year.
Okay.
When I write my calendar, I look for sparkly days, like what we're going to have on February 17th. That's a feature of 2022 because Jupiter and Uranus are going to speak to each other. And that's a message of hope and optimism and lucky breaks that come out of the blue that you don't see coming. And Jupiter's in Pisces and Uranus is in Taurus. Now, I'm a little late on publishing my February forecast. I'm finished. My editors are scrambling in Philadelphia to go through it all to make sure there's no typos. And then we'll post tonight. But I talk a lot about that aspect. And on April 12th, we have the meeting of Jupiter and Neptune. Now, both these planets used to, well, they still do. They rule Pisces, and that makes it stronger. They're in Pisces, and they both rule Pisces, and they're together. And this is good for everyone. Meeting on April 12th. Now, remember, a conjunction is just the beginning of a cycle. It's not just a day. You can't say, oh, nothing happened on that day. No, no, no. It opens a portal. And this is all about art and beauty and design. And I feel that we will develop a template for our age, just in the way the world celebrated when the Spanish flu was over. We had the flapper era. We had Art Deco and those beautiful dresses. And women didn't wear short dresses in those days. If you see pictures of your grandma or great grandma, that's to the floor. And that was a radical change. And the jazz and the, oh gosh, the jewelry, everything just was so gorgeous. So I went back. I said, I wonder if Jupiter and Neptune was together in 1920. It was. And it was in Leo, another creative sign known for beautiful use of color and design. So, so we're having it again this year. So this is pretty exciting. We also have Jupiter and Pluto working together on May 3rd, which is going to prop up the stock market. I know if you listen to CNBC or any of those stations, it's been like a roller coaster, you know, a really dramatic shifts. I think it's reflective of what's going on in Russia or
Right.
Putin says, oh, that's just a little training exercise. I have them on the border of the Ukraine.
Right.
They're just there to get fresh air.
Right.
So I think the market is sensitive to that, and also to South Korea launching all these missiles all over the place, and getting better at it. So, but Jupiter Pluto on May 3rd, the market will be at its highest point. It always is when Jupiter and Pluto work together. Now it'll be so high it can't stay there, so it'll wobble a little. But I don't see prosperity ending. I see it continuing.
Fantastic.
So hopefully I'm right, and
yes.
And the jobs went up this month, and that was announced. And no, I'm optimistic about that. Now, Jupiter's doing something interesting. First, it's in Pisces, so all the water signs do well. So if you're a listener, listen hard. If you're Pisces or Scorpio or Cancer, or a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, you do exceptionally well when Jupiter is in Pisces. Mm-hmm. And then later in the year, he's coming back for a little goodbye. Mm. He comes in on October 28th and stays until December 20th. But the strong part is when he's not retrograde. He's not retrograde in the beginning of the year, but he is in October until November 22nd. October 28th to November 22nd. So the strongest part is Thanksgiving to almost Christmas, November 22nd to December 20th. And then he goes back into Aries.
Okay.
But when he leaves, he gives goodies anyway. He's the uncle in the Nutcracker, where all the children come up, and he has pockets full of gifts. They're all little turquoise boxes, and the children are jumping. There are about 6 or 7. And Jupiter's job is just to make you happy. He asks for nothing in return. He wants to give you hope, and when life is just too strenuous, you need that little shot of luck.
Yes.
We didn't have any of that last year.
Yeah.
Last year was a year of endings.
Yes.
It really was, at least for me.
Yes.
My former husband died.
Yes.
And
sorry for your loss.
And, I'm still, dealing with it. And, I think about it all the time, because your husband is the person that knows you well. We were married 17 years when we finally got divorced because he couldn't support the family at all, and it was too much on me, but we stayed friends. Mm-hmm. We come over for all the holidays and, eat with us, and we were
He's
friends.
Your kid's father.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they adored him. Yeah. So I realized he gave us something better than money. He gave us love to the children, gave them a wonderful vision of a father, and that's more precious than money.
True.
But anyway, going back to this year, the 2 luckiest signs are Pisces and Aries, because Jupiter is going back and forth in those signs. When you have Jupiter on your sun, which they're going to have, it's the luckiest year ever. But you only get 8 of these in a lifetime if you live to 96. I always think of them as emeralds in your palm of your hand, and you pick one up. This is one of those years, but you only get 8. And when they first come by, I don't know how old you are, because I don't know where in the cycle you're coming in. You can't be any older than 12, but you're probably a little younger than that. You can't really use it.
Right.
But after that, you can. And this is the year where you get influential people helping you. It is also, Jupiter's the planet of miracles. Mm-hmm. And Albert Einstein said, you can say, my life has no miracles at all. I don't believe in them. Or think about it and say, my life has been a series of miracles. And he said, I choose the latter, that one. He was a Pisces. He was very spiritual.
Yeah.
And it's so true. If you think back, we tend to dismiss the lucky breaks we get. And we're always thinking about the problems we have. No, stop and think about the people who are good to you. I think there are maybe 5 people you can count on your left hand who really go to bat for you. Now, not your mother and father, of course they will, but other people. And then you have Taurus. Taurus is going to make so many friends this year, and they'll have so many followers on social media. And for them, they worked hard last year, and this year is all about, you know, expanding their influence, going to be active in a club, you know, maybe virtually, because it's, you know, that way these days, but still to really make an effort to make friends. Gemini, you hit the jackpot, because honors, awards, achievement, fame, your name is in lights. This is what you've been working for over a decade. It all comes to you. And it's not all work and no play, because from middle of May, Mother's Day, approximately, I don't know when it falls this year, until Halloween, you're going to have social life. So you get it all. You get career acclaim and a great social life. This is fabulous. You make friends, and the friends bring you other friends, boyfriends, girlfriends, you know, so it's great.
Nice.
Cancer's been under the gun. Cancer has had hard aspects. They're all dissipating now. They just have a little remnant of Pluto. And it's so much better, they can't believe it. They get luck from foreign people, foreign places, and from higher education, the college market, or going to college, investing in college, or a graduate degree. They also have luck with publishing, broadcasting, digital world, legal matters. They have a whole array of things in their little bag. You know?
Yes, wonderful.
So it's very, very good. A foreign person is lucky for them. They don't have to go overseas to meet that person. Of course, we could do it online. But for example, when I had that aspect, I said, that's not happening for me. I don't see it. I had just been hired by Elle, and I was working for Elle. I was to work for them for 6 years. And I said, no, I don't have that. Wait a minute. Elle is French. They were still owned by Hachette. See, so sometimes you're working for people in your own city. They're American. You're American. You don't think, well, this isn't working for me.
Right.
Who started the company? Where is the headquarters? So we have that. But Cancer, you have your name in lights in the middle of the year, from the middle of May to the end of October. That's when your career really starts moving. And you know what? It comes back after December 20th into next year, 2023. You've got a really long, beautiful, beautiful forecast for career. We also have Leo. Leo's investments are going to pay off. Now you say, well, I don't have any stock. Well, if you don't, maybe you invested in your education, or maybe you invested in your child, or maybe you invested in a house, or maybe you fixed up your house in the past few years. Maybe you inherited a house and you wanted to renovate it. Whatever you invested in is going to pay off. And it's going to be soon. Already by March, you're going to see what I'm talking about. And money is fabulous for you.
Wonderful.
Okay, so then you've got the Virgos, where they have great marriage aspects, great year for commitment.
Wow.
And now if you're already married, your husband or wife does well. And so you both do better.
Okay.
You have more options. You can get that new refrigerator or go on a trip to Paris or Japan. You know, you can do things that weren't possible before, because now you have this luck. And this is not that everything turns into like a pumpkin at 12 midnight. No, it continues. It's you elevate to a new level. It's real happiness. So you can use it in business. You can get an agent, or a business partner, or a new lawyer, or somebody like that who's very good for you. Or you could get married, or you could see your partner do well. All of the above, and they're not mutually exclusive. You can get a partner in business and in love. Both.
Yes. Okay.
And it's so romantic around Valentine's Day. I think a lot of people are getting engaged, and it will be joyous. Even though Valentine's Day falls on a Monday, I think everybody should take the day off.
Okay.
Go on a wonderful, you know, I was searching on the computer. There's a castle in New York State, really close to me, in Westchester. And I'm like, oh my God, I could stay in a castle, you know, and it's gorgeous. It's like 40 miles away from me, and I had no idea. So I'm telling everybody, find that romantic spot in your neighborhood. You're going to be surprised, because I was. So anyway.
So this is an aspect that's good for everyone in February.
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody will benefit. The Libras had great love last year. Now they're turning their attention to work. And wow, the phone is ringing. Their boss loves them. It's giving them all the best assignments. Everybody in the department says, why is she getting all those good, you know, that's kind of a nice assignment. Well, she earned it. Also health and fitness for Libra, but also for Pisces and Aries, also great health. But with Libra and with Aquarius, is it Aquarius? No. It's the other way around. It's Aries. They could lose weight because Jupiter in the 6th or 12th house makes them want to eat fresh fruit and vegetables, get rid of processed food. Just by getting rid of that and going on a Mediterranean kind of diet, dispel the butter, have olive oil. I became a serious home cook. With very serious during the pandemic. It got me sane through it. I looked forward to chopping those onions, chopping those.
Are you a Libra?
Garlic and everything. My daughter gave me a subscription to Blue Apron for 2 weeks, and it totally changed my life. I make duck à l'orange, and tonight I'm making pork chops with mashed potatoes and collard greens. I mean, it expands. And I lost 13 pounds, and I wasn't even trying.
Amazing.
Just got rid of the butter and just kept using olive oil, because that's what they said to use. Just use a little olive oil.
Well, so are you a Libra, Susan?
No.
What are you?
But I had good. No, I can't say.
Oh my God!
Because it's like going to the doctor and saying, "Doctor, my elbow hurts." Oh, mine too. And I had an operation on it.
All right.
Oh my God.
Okay.
You don't want it. You know.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about me. But anyway, Libra's got that. Now, Scorpio has won the jackpot. Love, love, love is the best for them. They could fall in love. Well, so could Pisces and Aries too, because they have that special emerald year. But Scorpio, real love, lasting love, you know, true love. Also, my number one question that I get from readers is, can I have a baby?
Oh, really?
And yeah, and the girls are 37, 38, 39. First of all, I feel all girls, and nobody tells you this, should freeze their eggs because it gives you more time.
Yes.
Because men are saying to me, gosh, I go out with a girl in the first half hour, she's asking me if I want a baby. It's a little fast, you know?
A little bit much, right?
We should let them breathe a little bit.
Yes, yes.
And, you know, if you freeze your eggs, see, I didn't know this. After 35, they deteriorate.
Right.
So the younger you freeze them, both my daughters did it, and both of them needed IVF. Both of them. Chrissy kept expelling the egg, but they found out she was missing one little hormone, and they knew how to fix it. Diana, they didn't know what was wrong, and she failed the first one. But your parents will help you. They want grandchildren. They're not going to say, no, I have no money. They'll scrape it together and help you. I know this is expensive. The freezing of the eggs is not. That's about $500. And it doesn't hurt. They put you to sleep.
Right.
And you're not allowed to go home by yourself.
Right.
Because you're a little loopy.
Right.
But no, but the IVF, it doesn't hurt. And so anyway, if you want a baby, this is the year to have it if you're a Scorpio. And actually, Diana has Scorpio rising. So it was working out for her.
You know, and my sister is a Scorpio, and she just became a grandmother. And she couldn't be happier. She's in heaven.
Oh, I love little babies, don't you? Yeah. Oh my gosh, the little hands, the little feet, the big eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to have so much fun. Chrissy has a child. Little Otis. So now I have two little boys. I had two daughters.
Is she in LA also?
No, she's in New York on the Lower East Side.
Okay.
But it's so delicious. You know, little Otis does Lego. the Legos are as big as my nail on my finger. I mean, they're so small. I was little, they were big. And he said, Grandma, open the instructions, the way he says instructions. So I opened it. I'm like, oh my God, we're making a Grumman airline. He says, no, we're making a Batmobile. I'm like, oh God, and me, who's not mechanical. So he says, find this one, Grandma. No, that's the wrong one, Grandma. Look, I'll show you. See, this is the right one.
All right.
I said, well, I'm going to keep you company. He said, all right, don't go anywhere. I'm like, no, I'm not. And he put the whole thing together. I mean, just by following the design. I mean,
pretty remarkable.
I don't have this. I don't have that. But I have other things. I cook. So, and that's like putting things together, like puzzles, But anyway, Sagittarius, you have real estate aspects. Boy, oh boy, if you want to move, this is your year to move and find your most beautiful house or apartment. It will have a view, it'll be sunny, and it'll have big closets because Jupiter is helping you. And Jupiter's your ruler. Yes. And then after May, it goes into your house of true love. So you feather your nest and then have love and bring love in. Nice. That's the plan. Boy, Sag, work on your private life. Your career is going fine. You just have to, you've neglected that part. So the universe is going to help you. Now remember, it will provide the environment, but if you don't leave the house, nothing will happen. Right. That. You have to leave the house. You have to show the universe your intent. Right. So for example, you have to start looking at spaces online or get a broker to show you a few things, and they have to know what you're looking for, but pretty fast they get the hang of it, of what you're looking for, and you could really find something special. Capricorn, you're going to have the housing aspects too, but not as early as Sag. Sag is going to have it right away, right now. You're going to have it after Mother's Day until Halloween. Boy, if you want to move this summer, oh gosh, and it'll have a fireplace too. Your house will have a fireplace, although it's probably better to have big closets, but depends on if you live in Maine or you live in LA or you live in Florida or you live in, up in the cold hinterland near Canada, but they really have a nice outlook. But the Capricorns may be starting a podcast or writing a book or a screenplay, something communicative. They may have an idea for an app and hire a team. And, once you start doing apps, it's like cereal. I have to write another app. I have one. Oh, by the way, all your listeners can get it for free. You go to Apple or Google Play, just put in Susan Miller. It's a long name, but if you just put in Susan Miller, I come up first, and I'm wearing a white blouse, and I have a picture of me because nobody believed it was really me because so many people are using my name. We had to do. It's called Daily Horoscope Astrology Zone and More by Susan Miller, but it's so much more than a daily horoscope. It has my monthly on there. Apple wanted me to use that. They're my partners. They get 30% and they're welcome to it because you're nothing without Apple or Google. Right. And, but we're thinking about changing the names to be a little bit more realistic. And I think people will love it. And for only $1 a week, $4.99 a month, you can have the whole enchilada, all my essays, a very long daily, which people are addicted to. They love it. I asked my app team, how many impressions do I get? Because they can't judge traffic the way you do on the internet. Right. If you download my app last year, they're not going to count it this year. Right. The only thing they can judge is impressions. How many people are going on it? How many people are reading it? Right. He said, oh, let me look. Oh, you have 60 million. Oh. I said, wait a minute. Did you say 60? He said, yes, Susan.
Oh my goodness.
You have high engagement, really high engagement. Looks like the readers like what you're writing. I'm like, oh my God, I never asked before. I just found this out.
Incredible.
Wow. Oh, and by the way, your listeners can also be reminded of certain aspects by following me on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. I like Twitter and Instagram better. Twitter's my favorite because you can put links on very easily. And you don't have to put it up in your profile.
Right.
But they're both at Astrology Zone because there's too many Susan Millers. But anyway, so follow me. Or if you can't remember Astrology Zone, just put in Susan Miller. Actually, even on Google, I come up first. So you'll find me.
Do you ever stop writing? You got to be writing all the time. Do you ever take a break? Is there ever downtime?
Not really. You know, I used to use travel as a valve to release. And I love going to LA and writing under a palm tree. I am a New Yorker. I love New York. I'm never going to leave New York. But because of Diana, I'm going to be living in LA. That just being in a new environment helps your psyche so much. And we haven't been able to do it. Most of us are not traveling. A few brave souls have been doing it, but you know, I can't get sick, even mildly. I can't. So, but I am going this Sunday for the first time in 2 years. Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
So, you know, and I'm flying first class because Diana doesn't want me sitting next to anybody. You know? Oh my gosh. Okay, if you insist.
All right.
I'm so many frequent flyer moms anyway, because I haven't been anywhere. So, but anyway, I just wanted to tell Aquarius, because I never got to them, that they're going to make more money than they've ever seen in their life. And it's earned income. Do not go to Las Vegas. This is earned. But if you can earn $1 million, you can earn 2 million. And nobody can say you didn't deserve it because you did deserve it. That's why you're earning it. And it's a really happy year for Aquarius. They have one more year of deciding on what they're committing to. Some already did it, like a marriage or a baby or a book or an advanced degree or starting a business or taking that big promotion that's offered them or buying their first house. Usually it's something that you're doing for the first time. Some are helping a mother or father that needs it. You know, when little mom, my mother, was getting older, we were plunged into a subculture of caring for an elderly person. And there are rules, there are difficulties, there are obstacles, but you get through them because you immerse yourself in it. We decided on a wonderful lady to live with her from the Republic of Georgia. She was a very warm person, and we loved Annie. And she lived in her house. So there was an extra bedroom. But that was our solution. Everybody has to find a different solution, you know, depending on the health of the parent or the relative, you know. So, you know, it's a learning process, but one that shows so much love. So there are different kinds of learning experiences that we go through in life. And I was thinking about it. Getting married or having a baby or buying a house, any of these things, starting a business, is an act of courage, an act of confidence. And you're ready for it. You know when you're ready for it.
Yeah.
At some point you are, not right away. But as you grow up, and Saturn helps mature you and get you ready to take on more. And I'm learning to be a grandma. Yes. Although Diana said, I don't think we should call you grandma because you don't seem old enough. I said, thank you, Diana.
Well,
we're still talking about it.
You have the energy of a 4-year-old. So, you know. So how long are you going to be in?
Was making fun of me just now before we got on because he knows I answer every spam call. He said, why do you do that? I said, well, I feel sorry for them. They have a big list of people. He said, well, actually, robocalls they're not real people. Well, I'm very polite to them. I'm saying, I'm sorry, we don't take robocalls.
Oh my gosh.
But sometimes they're real people on the end there. And
That's
I'm like
true.
thinking, oh, they've had such a hard day. At least I can be nice to them. Say, I don't need a car warranty. I don't know how to drive. You know?
Well, and that is the kindness that comes out in your writing, and all of us love so much about what you give. How long are you going to be in Los Angeles?
For months. I'm
Oh.
going to keep coming home. Like I'm leaving on February 13th and come back March 13th. Stay a few days and go right back because I don't want to
Okay.
leave her alone with a newborn. It's
Yeah.
too hard. And of
Yes.
course, she'll have babysitters. And we did hire a baby nurse to help her and learn how to breastfeed and all that stuff.
Right. Good.
But
Good.
no, I insisted. I said, no, that's going to be my present and the crib. They just, oh, it's so cute. So her friends have been giving her onesies and
Good.
it's so cute. So
Well, it's an amazing time. Well, I can't thank you enough for spending so much time with us today and putting up with all the technological. Thank you, and all this craziness.
And now I got to see you.
Yes, it's wonderful. It's wonderful to share space with you.
I love it.
I'm just so appreciative of your work and everything you do for us. Yes. Say again.
Oh, thank you. We'll do this again.
Yes, please. And I'm really appreciative for your work and all that you do for all of us and spreading your hope and optimism and information. We need it. And I hope it never stops. I never want it to stop, but thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's Susan Miller, astrologyzone.com. And everyone make sure you go to Apple or Google Play and get that app because you will love it. And there's different options, a free option and a paid option, but you will love it. Yes. All right. Thank you so much. Everyone have a great day. Until next time.